talk about it, man. A couple topics we floating through. First and foremost, is the Bible too vulgar and violent? We're going to talk about that. Also, should people be fired from their jobs if they try to stop customers from stealing? We're also asking, should taxpayers be paying for a religious school? Oh, we're going to get into all that, movies, music, sports, and more. That's coming up. You kicking it with KC. Yeah, man. Pop Tops, Popular Topics by yours truly, KC, MC, 10 plus years, radio experience, and more. Let's get into it, man. This first story coming from apnews.com. That's the Associated Press. Let me go ahead and switch it up. Nah, this ain't the right one. That's the Associated Press. So we talking about this first story. Just saying, in Utah, parents complain about certain Bible verses being vulgar and violent led to the removal of the Bible from elementary and middle schools in the Davis School District in Utah. This action followed a state law requiring parental involvement in decisions about, quote, sensitive material, end quote. The Book of Mormon, another religious text, is now under review as well. Conservative parent activists are increasingly concerned about discussions on sex and violence in schools. These challenges to books and curriculum have prompted debates and legislative proposals across the country, with the number of attempts to ban and restrict books reaching a 20-year high. So they had a parent that said, oh no, this Bible stuff is just way too violent and vulgar for my child. I don't want my child to know all that. Y'all need to take this Bible out of the schools. Whoa. To my knowledge from this article, it was literally one parent. One parent. And because they have this new law where the parent has to be involved in the decision making of what the kids consume, all it took was this one parent for them to shut the entire thing down. Now let's talk about it. Does it even make sense for them to remove the Bible from elementary and middle schools? Why not high school? They said high school kids are mature enough. But supporting the situation, yes, anytime a parent has a concern about something that's going on with their child, it should be considered. Point blank. Now, should there be immediate executive decisions made off of that? I don't think so. But nonetheless, anytime a parent has a concern about their child, it should be considered. Secondly, it is a state law for these schools to be considering what the parents think about what's going on in these schools. This is a law. This ain't nothing that the school district or the school itself chose to do. Utah in general requires parental involvement in decisions about sensitive material. The Bible is sensitive material in this case, and it took that one parent to actually get it taken care of. And we're talking about consideration of sensitivity. I mean, do all these kids really need to be hearing about certain violent stuff? Not all kids are built to be taking in and consuming this dangerous, quote unquote, vulgar and violent information. So we have to be considerate of that. Not everybody's going to consume the same information the same way and react the same way. So that's why I do get why they took the Bible out. I'm not going on the other side of things. This limits the freedom of expression. You can't have a book, which is the Bible, in the elementary and middle schools. This is the Bible. This is supposed to be teaching what? Fundamental lessons and anecdotes and all this other stuff. I don't know. But the point is, y'all taking books out. It ain't even like it's sexually explicit or anything like that. It's the Bible. Yes, there's some violence in there, but that's human. So that's the fact that they're limiting freedom of expression. That kind of, then the fact that, think about 10, 20 years from now, not just the Bible, but other books that they're banning from these schools, you're restricting the child's critical thinking ability. The more information a person consumes, the different perspectives they can have, and the more they can actually make critical decisions on certain things and situations. If you take out knowledge or perspectives, that limits them. This could affect them later on down the lives. And then we also talked about the fact that this was only one parent or just a few parents that made this complaint. This is a whole disproportionate influence of these advocacy groups. It only take, should we set a limit on how many parents should be upset about a situation in order for them to make a change? This is what I'm gonna say. There's already this church and state situation, which we have another topic, we're gonna talk about that. Should the Bible even be in schools? Utah, more specifically, the Book of Mormon is way more popular, and now they're reviewing that. just because of state law. This is literally the blurred lines between church and state. I believe it should stay separated. Keep it separated. Any schools with these schools with Bibles in it. So y'all are any other children allowed to come to this school that aren't Christian or don't believe in this Bible, even though they feel like this is where they can get the best education in their neighborhood? I have to read the Bible. I'm atheist or I'm Muslim, but I have to read the Bible. I don't think that's fair at all. So I think they should just go ahead and take the Bible out of all these schools. And if the parents don't want, they should have a certain limit for parents. Get a petition with at least 100 signatures, or maybe all the parents of the students that are in this specific class. Other than that, if it's only one parent, I think that's kind of weak. Either take the Bible out completely or keep it in there and let a good number of parents complain before you remove it. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show, 313-466-4386. I got another topic for you real quick. We talking about this Lululemon situation. This was kind of crazy. This is coming from finance.yahoo.com. 2 Lululemon employees were fired for intervening in a shoplifting incident, despite knowing the company's zero tolerance policy on engaging during thefts. The CEO, Calvin McDonald, defended the decision, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing the safety of employees and customers. He clarified that the termination was not due to calling the police, as employees are permitted to do so. However, critics argued that the employees should have been given a warning instead of losing their jobs, considering their intent to protect the store. The incident sheds light on the increasing problem of organized retail crime, with retailers experiencing a significant rise in such incidents, prompting investigations, investments in training, labor, technology, and even teaming up with the police. These women saw people trying to steal or actually stealing in Lululemon, and they say, no, we're about to be heroes. We're going to stop them and chase them out the store. Now, a lot of people are mad the CEO fired the employees. Let's talk about why he fired them. Obviously, they have a zero tolerance policy on engaging during thefts, and they knew about it, but still chose to chase these thieves. Now, what if these thieves had that thing on them? Oh, they probably would have been trying to sue Lululemon. You see what I'm saying? I get that. We also talking about, yeah, they had the ability to call the police. You can call the police. He didn't say you can't call the police. Let them leave. Call the boys. Give them the video camera. Tell them what they look like. Tell them which direction they went. And you keep going to register. You keep going to cash out at the register. That's what you worry about. Then we also talking about, like we mentioned before, there's a rise and increase in retail crime. A lot of companies are suffering these losses from items being stolen, things of that nature. To be on the contrary to that, they have insurance that covers that. So let's talk about the opposing situation. Should they been given a warning? I don't know about no warning, but they are trying to protect your store from getting robbed, my man. They don't get some type of acknowledgement for that. You just fire them for that. That's a little bogus. That's a little bogus. Maybe I was gonna say maybe they'd be the example. Make them the example of giving them a warning and say, anybody else do this, you're gonna get fired. Instead, he said, I'm gonna fire them and make them an example. That's kind of funny now I think about it. Some people say that this zero tolerance policy discourages employees from taking actions against these potential thefts. You make people just want to look the other way when they see somebody stealing. Oh, they're stuffing in something under the company policy. I can't worry about it. Let me just call the police. Just walk away from them. Meanwhile, this person is walking out the store. He down the street at the crib already, being sold it online by the time you call the police and they get there. And we also talking about, like we said, the increase in retail crime. Works on both sides of the fence. If everybody's coming in stealing and know that they can steal, what are we really in business for? We're going to try to stop some of these people. You ain't about to come up in here and steal everything to the point that I ain't got no job. That's what we not going to do. So those are the opposing points to the situation of the CEO firing the employees. Here's what I think. Y'all better let them people steal, man. Let these people steal. If the CEO of the company does not care about people stealing. Y'all better let them steal. I mean, for real though. Can I also say this? If I'm an employee of a company, retail, like Lululemon, Nike or whatever, and I know there's a zero tolerance policy for stealing, guess what? I'm going to let people steal. And guess what? I might call my people up there to steal. And I'm going to act like I don't know nothing about it. And I might fake and call the police. You see what I'm saying? If y'all telling people, I don't even think y'all should tell the employees it's zero tolerance, because it's like, then they'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to let people steal. I'm going to call my peoples up here. Like, that makes no sense. But once again, if the CEO of the company don't care about people stealing, let these people steal. Let them steal. It ain't, your name ain't on it. It ain't Karen or us. But anyway, that's just what I think. I think if your job has a zero tolerance policy for stealing against theft, or chasing these thieves, I should say, as employees, let people steal. I would almost encourage other people to steal. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show, 313-466-4386. Let's switch it up to the last topic. Talking about stuff that happened in Oklahoma. This is coming from apnews.com. Also, the statewide virtual charter school board in Oklahoma voted 3-2 to approve the establishment of the St. Isidore of Seville virtual charter school, which would be the first publicly funded religious school in the entire United States of America. Despite the state attorney general's warning that the decision was unconstitutional, the board proceeded with the approval. The Catholic Archdiocese of Oklahoma submitted the application, emphasizing their participation in the church's evangelizing mission. Advocacy group Americans United for Separation of Church and State criticized the decision as a violation of religious freedom, while Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt praised the board's vote, citing it as a win for religious liberty and education freedom. Wow. Even the governor's on board with this. Of course he is, right? Of course. The country's first taxpayer-funded religion school. Now, this is a very tricky subject. Talking about Oklahoma supporting this, right? It gives them increased educational options. People who are strictly religious, strictly by the Bible, if they want to be in these schools, they have that option now. It's a public religious school. You don't have to pay to go to no private religious school or a Christian school. It's publicly funded. So now you can just send your kid there. That's something good. It also accommodates their religious education. If your religion and your education is intertwined, then this accommodates that. This helps for that. This helps, brings your entire culture together and makes it all make sense. This is for the people that actually support that. Plus, it's respecting parental rights. If the parents want their kids to learn about God and geometry, they can do that at this school without having to go to a private or some type of expensive school that they have to pay for with tuition. That's supporting the case. But of course, on the other hand, this is a straight violation of church and state separation. Now, can I be honest? We are seeing a lot of drawback and reversals of a lot of historic lawsuits and cases in the United States. Roe versus Wade, now this church versus state separation thing, they're blurring those lines now, mixing stuff together. And now we got governors already appraising it. The attorney generals didn't necessarily like. It's a very tricky situation, but I think they should remain separate. Potential discrimination against people who are not in that religion is a main reason why. It is a publicly funded school. As a taxpayer, that means my taxes are going to the school. My child is not Christian. My child is of another faith, Buddhism. So you telling me if they go to this school, they're going to be discriminated against? They're going to be shunned? They're going to be picked on? And I'm paying for this school? That's what I don't like. The fact of that lets you know that it's misallocation of public funds. Y'all taking public funds that come from everybody who lives there, whether they're Christian or not, religious or not, and y'all putting it towards the school for people who are religious, who are Christian. That's not right. Y'all telling me there's nothing else in that city, in that town, in that state that y'all need to fix, put public funds towards roads, public transportation, rehab, other education situations, but y'all want to put it towards a religious school. That's their decision. What I'm going to say is I don't like this reversal of all of these laws that were set in place to keep people separate, keep certain things separate. You don't want to talk about politics and religion when you're on a date. Religion, politics, those are all those hot trigger buttons, those hot topics that you don't even talk about at work. So you want to muddy that water in with public funds and have basically all the kids focus on this specific religion at this school. I don't like that. I don't think that's a good idea. I think they should be separate. Now, if it's a private charter school or something like that, where you got to pay tuition to get in there and ain't publicly funded, do what you want to do. But the fact that all taxpayers in the town is coming out of bread for that, I don't like that. We can't agree with that. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch. Yeah, man. We about to talk about music now in the audio audit. You know what I'm saying? Talk about what's going on. What we listened to recently. Moneybag Yo, Hard to Love. Listen to this on YouTube Music. No endorsement. Shout out to YouTube, though. This was 20 tracks, 55 minutes. God dang. It seemed long than a mug. I like my projects to be between 30 and 45 minutes. Not too short that I don't take it serious. Not too long that I don't get bored. But this was a little bit longer than that. So I got a little bit bored. I'm not going to cap. 20 tracks. It drug out, but I will say a few tracks stood out to me. Ocean Spray, that was pretty decent. I like the beat. Lies was pretty decent. Still was a decent one. Show Liz was nice. And Where Your Bid At? Where Your Bid At? Those are all pretty decent. 5 out of 20, that's about 25%. Not a good shooting percentage if you ask me personally. That's what I think. Now, Moneybag Yo, I don't know if there's any singles currently playing from this album on Power 96.5 WQHH here in Lansing, Michigan. But Moneybag Yo is one of them artists. He might still be in his wave, but he had a wave where he was just busting. I'm talking about drop his track after track, Waukesha, and I looked at my wrist, I got time today. Oh, bro, Moneybag Yo dropping some bangers. But what I will say is, I don't like his cadence when he rhymes sometimes. I feel like he forces too many syllables within a bar. That's just the artsy, creative, artistic part of me critiquing him. Besides that, these 5 tracks that I named, they are decent. I might go back and listen to 1 or 2. Actually, I did go back and listen to a few of these. So they not bad. This whole project, I'm not necessarily with it though. I mean, these singles are nice, but Hard to Love as an entire project, I couldn't do it. Not with only one out of every 4 songs I like. 1 out of every 4, every 5 songs. I can't tolerate that. Decent project, but I wouldn't recommend. But if you listen to Moneybag Yo, Hard to Love, let me know what you think about the project Hard to Love. Let me know what you think about Moneybag Yo as an artist. How long you think he got until he ain't popping no more? Can we talk about it? Some people say he ain't popping now. I don't know about that. I'm looking at my watch like it's gonna tell me. It's 2023. I'll probably say give it another year or two. Give it another year or two. Now, I don't want to prey on no rapper's downfall, no artist's downfall, because I get what it is. But at the same time, I don't think it's too much variety in his music. I don't think his music is versatile enough. I don't think it's versatile. Everything is coming from the street perspective, which, okay, I get it. That's who you are, that's where you're from, or that's what you represent. But as an artist of music, come on, bro. Expand your horizons. But that's just what I think. Moneybag Yo, Hard to Love. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch it up, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about movies, TV shows, all that we recently seen in Corn Stream, scenes I saw. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we watched Wanda Sykes' new comedy special, I'm an Entertainer, on Netflix. No endorsement. This was, oh man, how long was this? This is about an hour long. Oh, not an hour 50. No way. This is about an hour long. Let's just say that. Now, if I'm being honest, coming straight off the bat, I'm not a Wanda Sykes fan at all. At all. She is a gay woman. I have nothing in common with her other than the fact we're both black. And even that's questionable. But overall, I didn't expect to laugh at all. And I think for the most part, I might have laughed once, maybe twice. I'm talking about actual. Other than that, I was like, okay, I can see why that's funny. I can see why somebody else would laugh. I ain't about to laugh though. Talked about a few things. She talked about the pandemic, first and foremost. Now, this came out in 2023 this year. But I'm like, why are we still talking about the pandemic? Maybe it's because these comedians didn't do a special since the pandemic, so now they want to reflect on it. Man, if you don't throw that material away, dog, we are over them. That's like people still talking about the Chris Rock and Will Smith. Like, we're over it. We're over it. Like, stop talking about the pandemic, bro. We're 3 years removed at this point. Ain't nobody even wearing masks or social distancing no more. Okay, we're done. So that part was kind of like, all right. Then she also talked about being married to a white French woman and raising white kids. She mentioned that a few times. Okay, you're talking mess about them, but you chose to be with this woman. You chose to be with this woman. It ain't like you were forced. So where do you, I guess you just talking about, that's like with anybody talking about their wife and kids, but that just almost looked, it almost sounded dumb. Because you talking about these white kids and the difference with you raising them and having them change their name to LaQuisha, and it's like, bro, that's not even funny. That wasn't funny. Not to say I took it serious, but it's like, these your kids. You made this choice. Y'all adopted them or whatever the heck y'all chose to do. So like, nah, that was kind of corny to me. She also she got into politics. She compared Democrats to the channel PBS and Republicans to TLC. Basically favoring Republicans. Wouldn't you rather watch 90 Day Fiancé than Sesame Street? Like, what? This is the same thing I'm talking about with mixing politics in with everything else. We don't want to hear that. Do what you got to do. But you talking about Republicans and Democrats. What if you got a crowd full of Democrats and they don't even like it? Obviously, they come to a comedy show, so they expect them to laugh. But then, like, you throw that out there, making them almost feel... I'm not a Democrat or Republican, so I don't give a damn. But what I'm saying is, you become polarizing. You divide the room when you do stuff like that. Now, you don't think so, or maybe you don't care because you're doing comedy, but that's what you do. So that was corny to me also. Then she also talked about getting triggered. This was part that made me laugh. Getting triggered from white people wearing red hats. I laughed at that because I kind of got that same kind of trigger, that trauma. Not trauma, but trigger. When I see, especially a white person, wearing a baseball cap of a snapback caliber that is all red, I'm instantly thinking, oh snap, here go one of them Trumpsters. Here go one of them MAGAs. The MAGAs. And she said the same thing. She said the same thing. Yeah, sometimes nowadays I still walk around, I see people with their red, I'm already instantly just judging them. Now I don't want to say I judge them, even though I kind of do. But you know, you got to take that second as an adult. You were like, okay, not everybody's like that. And not all red hats are Trumpsters. But you know, even if they are Make America Great Again hat, okay, be mature about it and have a conversation. But overall, that kind of laugh, because I be having that same trigger. When I see a red hat, I'm like, oh, what they on? What they on? That was funny, I'm not gonna lie. And she also talked about white people not wanting to give black people reparations. She compared it to something, but I wasn't able to, I meant to write it down what she compared it to. But clearly they're not gonna want to get reparations. It's not your choice though. Even though they technically, I don't want to say they, but the common white person, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Sit your goof ass down somewhere. So that was a solid point. Didn't make me laugh. It was just a solid point. Overall, for it to be a comedy special, I didn't laugh too much. Not out loud. It was all right, but I definitely would not recommend it unless you are gay or in the LGBTQIA plus community. Shout out to Pride Month. Let me know what you think about Wanda Sykes as a comedian, or let me know what you think about I'm an Entertainer as a comedy special on Netflix. No endorsement. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch it up, man. Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Spots and Pants. All right. I'm gonna have my peoples call in to talk about this boxing stuff. So I'm gonna switch out boxing right now. We're gonna go straight to NBA right now. I'm gonna have my mans call in. talk about boxing. So anyway, NBA talk real quick, man. Let's get into it. 76ers make it official. They hired Nick Nurse as the next coach. They fired Doc Rivers. Got him up out of there. Now, Nick Nurse won Toronto Raptors' first NBA title in 2019. He just got fired this year. He basically had his season. He finished 41-41 this season after a 48-34 campaign last year. So he's been hanging around 50% or so, 50, 60% from what's named. But anyway, the point is, this man gave them a championship for the first time in history. And y'all fired him 4 years later. It ain't even like he had a losing record. He had a winning record. Doc Rivers, second straight 50-win season. They got him up out of there. The process is over. I think the 76ers should get rid of Joel Embiid. Now, a lot of people be like, no, you crazy. He the MVP. Check this out, though. Check this out. I think he's a cancer. I think his attitude and all of that is the reason why they lose. He's not a dog. You gotta be a dog. And you gotta be a dog when it matters. Not during the regular season, but when it matters, which is in the playoffs. You need to be putting up big time numbers, bro. Big time numbers. And they just couldn't get it done. So Nick Nurse, former Raptors coach, he is now the coach of the 76ers. Just texting my man's KG real quick. If you can. All right, cool. So anyway, moving forward, Milwaukee Bucks, they fired Mike Bud, got rid of him. They hired Raptors assistant coach Adrian Griffin. Adrian Griffin was assistant coach in the NBA 15 years. He started in Milwaukee under Scott Skiles in 2008. He spent the last 5 seasons as an assistant for Nick Nurse in Toronto. But he's now the coach there for Milwaukee. The Bucks had a league best 58-24 regular season record this year. Fell 4-1 to Miami in the opening round of the playoffs. They were just the 6th number 1 seed to lose to an 8th seed in the opening round of the playoffs, and the only number 1 seed that failed to win more than one playoff game. Oh, now when you think about it like that, when you read those statistics, it'll make you want to fire somebody or trade somebody. I will say that. Those stats I don't want to be known for. Nonetheless, they bring an assistant coach from the Toronto Raptors. It's like everybody is avoiding to hire Mark Jackson. Hire Mark Jackson, bro. What are y'all doing? He's available. They hired an assistant coach from the Toronto Raptors. That's how much they're trying to avoid him. I think Mark Jackson is blackballed, but that's a whole nother subject. Point is, they got a new assistant coach there, Adrian Griffin. I don't know how he's going to do. I always talk about I don't know how much of an influence the coaches have on the team. It's really about the players, if you ask me. With that being said, moving on to the Pistons. The Pistons fired Dwayne. No, not fired Dwayne. Allegedly, they chose to go part ways. But Dwayne Casey's now in the front office, and they hired Monty Williams from the Phoenix Suns. Can I talk about this real quick? 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, Monty Williams posted a 194-115 regular season record in his 4 seasons with Phoenix. Not bad. He signed a $78.8 million 6-year contract with the Pistons, making it the largest coaching contract in NBA history, bro. NBA history. They just gave this man, who has a overall record in his career, 367 and 336 in 9 seasons, with a postseason record of 29-27. That is a very average record for a man who just got paid top dollar. For the Pistons, a team that I love and support, my hometown team, and they don't even have no players for real. So I think they really overshot it with Monty Williams. Don't think he's worth the money. Don't think he's gonna make a difference. Not at all. Waste of money. I didn't even know we had the type of money. We could have went and got a superstar somewhere if they want to come to Detroit. But I don't know. I just didn't like that at all. Them hiring Monty Williams. Yeah, his name sounds good because he came from Phoenix and KD was there and Phoenix was in the finals a couple years ago. But they didn't do nothing, which is why Phoenix fired him. So if you're excited about Monty Williams being a coach for the Pistons, I don't think you're looking at it from the right perspective. Also talking about Bob Myers, GM of the Warriors, officially stepped down. All of this stuff has been talked about already. He served as the Golden State's GM since 2012, and now he's giving up that seat. Hold on, we got a call coming in. Yo, what's going on? You kicking it with KC? Who is this? Where you calling from?
Yo, what up, dog? This KG from Detroit. What's the deal?
What's poppin', KG? Calling in, man. Appreciate you, man. We talking about some sports real quick, bro.
Alright.
You called at a perfect time. Real quick, I just want to talk about the finals. We heading into game 3 coming up. We just ended game 2. First of all, what was your thoughts about game 2?
Well, Denver got home court advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, you got the Joker out there, man. He been wilding this whole season, the whole playoffs. I definitely thought they was gonna take the first 2 at home.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, but then again, you know, you got playoff Jimmy, man. Playoff Jimmy, you know, he gonna have a few bad games here and there, but them bad games ain't gonna be consistent. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go for broke. You know, he ain't never been this close before in his life, man. So it's a lot riding. I'm just happy to see some new teams in there, man. You know, new set of players, guys that ain't never been on the biggest stage, that platform, and you know, you got that hunger, man. It's a toss up. You don't know who gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You might have an idea, but we ain't going into no slaughter. This might be a 7-game series, you know?
Okay. What I saw from that game, bro, Denver, first of all, before this game started, Denver was undefeated at home in the playoffs. All right. Miami started off hot, then Denver caught up and took the lead in the first quarter. It was a lot of 3-pointers being shot by Miami. That's a whole other subject, but we'll get into that later. Jimmy, but this is what I made a note of this, bro. Second quarter, 2 minutes left. Jimmy Butler got fouled, and he hit the floor. I guess he was expecting a call from the ref, but the refs didn't call nothing. So he laid on the floor until Denver took the ball down the court, and they ended up scoring again. The only reason he got up is because Kevin Love helped him up. That's what I didn't like, bro. These players depending too much on these refs to make these calls. Then Denver had the lead pretty much all game. Miami brought it within 3 points in the third quarter. Then they took the lead by the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left. They were up by 11 points. Denver did what Denver did, caught up, ended up beating them. Jamal Murray had the opportunity. Denver didn't beat them. They caught up within 3 points, but Jamal Murray had a last-second three-pointer that he didn't make either. Now, I shouldn't have came down to that. I think Denver left their foot off the gas. That's what I credited to more than Miami. Because Miami was still playing some sucker ball, if you ask me, bro. I think they did steal one in Denver. I don't think it was supposed to go that way. I think Denver is going to steal one in Miami. Miami probably get one. I still see Denver in 6. Your thoughts? Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's going to probably go 7, and this is for multiple different reasons. You know, they gonna go back to back, man. I think they're gonna go for broke. You know, feel like Miami stole one here. I think Denver gonna steal one on the road as well. And then also it make for good entertainment. It make for ticket sales. You know, it's money too. You know Vegas, man. They got their hand all in this. Now they may not know who's gonna win. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But I think they're gonna kind of stretch it out, just the same way how Miami and Boston went to the 7-game series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they was up 3-0. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to pick one, it would probably be Denver to win it.
Yep.
But I think I want to see Jimmy get one, though.
I do too, bro. He worked too hard.
Realistically, I think Denver gonna be too much for him down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see Jimmy get one.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, so, and then you're right, too, to piggyback off of what you're saying about the players and the refs, man. It's a whole lot of crime, man.
Dog.
You know, remember, we were hoop growing up, man. We ain't even really call fouls.
No.
It had to be something like egregious.
Man,
you know what I'm
had
saying?
to clothesline somebody.
Yeah, I mean, dog, like this, and then on top of that, bro, this playoff basketball, man.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
I mean, the other day, when LeBron and them was still in, the ref was bleeding. LeBron ran it like it's blood, sweat, and tears. You hear me?
That's a good point.
So, you know, you gotta. This is playoff basketball, bro. You gotta leave exhausted. I mean, everything gotta be on on the floor, bro. This is an opportunity for you to win the whole chip, bro. I'm going for broke. I'm
Man.
playing 46 out of 48 minutes a game. You know what I mean?
Mama. On my
Duh,
mama.
got to. You know what I'm saying? So
I think
that's
about the
where my
time
head
when
at with it, man. It's and then too, I feel like sometimes you rely on that three, man. You win by the three, you die by that three. So if Miami don't come up with an answer for the Joker, and you know what I'm saying, they stop just relying on them 3-pointers, it might get a little nasty. It might be some nasty work.
Oh yeah, I mean, and if Denver's doing what they supposed to do, they gonna give it to the Joker. Ain't no stop it. Ain't no answer for that. Ain't no. That's a rhetorical question. The Joker is a rhetorical question. Ain't no answer.
Right, and because of that, that's why Miami needed to do what the Pistons did in 04 to the Lakers. Shaq is unstoppable, bro. What you gonna do?
But Ben shut him down, boy. I was just watching one of them highlights.
No, they shut Kobe down.
Oh, okay.
Shaq, go ahead, get your
he
40,
played good defense though.
50. Yeah, I mean, of course, Ben gonna, then they gonna rotate Sheed in there. You know what I mean? They gonna try to mix it up. You gonna put them on the line. You really okay? You got 3 fouls. I got 3 fouls. As long as we don't foul out, we Gucci.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put Shaq on the line, but they knew they couldn't stop Shaq. The goal was, all right, let's shut down Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Shaq gonna go off. He one of the most dominant players ever to ever touch the basketball court. So let him get his 40 or 50. But long as we stop this man from getting 40 or 50, then we're gonna be in good standing.
That's
so I think they need to take that approach. Let Joker go off, but you need to control
his
Jamal
other
Murray.
options. Yep.
Yeah,
that's real.
Jamal Murray gonna control the tempo. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot. He can pass. He gonna score. He a scorer too. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing. Shaq wasn't a passer like Joker. Right. So when the Joker do get in trouble, you do try to shut him down. He's looking to make the pass. That's the only hiccup. But I think you need to shut Joker down, shut Murray down, and let Joker do his thing. Joker gonna go off, man. And you can't stop that, bro.
I agree, bro. Appreciate that. All right. So real quick before I let you go, man, my next topic outside of NBA, boxing, man. I know you just went to that Clarissa Shields versus who was that? Maricela Conejo or something like that. Can you talk about that? What did that fight look like?
Well, Corojo, she was a last minute switch.
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields was supposed to fight Hannah Gabriels. Hannah Gabriels tested positive for an illegally banned substance week before the fight.
Oh.
So
she was trying to be on that stuff to try to get Clarissa out. Oh, that's bold.
Well, that's the thing. If you know, I'm a big boxing fan, so the history, her and Clarissa Shields fought once before, right? She was the toughest match for Clarissa Shields to this date. She was the only person to ever drop Clarissa Shields. She dropped Clarissa Shields in the first round. So Clarissa came back, it was a nice back and forth. Clarissa Shields edged her and got the dub. Well, everybody wanted to see round 2. Clarissa Shields, the undisputed, women's champion of the world. So people was like, you know what? This is her toughest comp. This is her homecoming party. She fought at the crib. So this is a big deal. But I think Hannah, she wanted that little extra step to try to get her up out of there.
And
she got
her
jammed
up out of there.
Yeah, so her opponent was a last minute switch.
Dang.
I didn't know too much about her prior to that, but they had her ranked number 1. Going back doing my research right before the fight, I looked at some of her past fights. I knew Clarissa was going to destroy her. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised Clarissa didn't get the knockout, but baby girl was hard nosed, man. She took a lot of punishment. She showed a lot of heart, but hey, man, when you in the D, man, Clarissa coming out with the buffs on with cash down, man, it's hard to compete against that, dog. Man.
Yep, and just for clarification on our audience, she fought at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, man. She's from Flint, I believe, right? She's from Flint. So she fought, you know what I'm saying, about an hour south of her crib, hour and a half in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, she in the home state though.
Yep. Oh man, that's what's up. Yeah, I saw the walkout with her and Cash Doll. She was dancing and everything. I'm like, oh snap.
Yeah, she had the buffs on. Yeah. Those was actually gifted from Cash Doll too.
Yeah. Oh man, that was hard, dog. I ain't gonna lie. But overall, she did what she was supposed to do. She wiped her down. I didn't know she didn't fight old girl because of the thing though, the drug thing.
Yeah. Old girl tested positive like a week before for an illegally banned substance. So they took her off the card because you know whatever it was some steroid supposedly that help induce or produce testosterone. So, um, so they took her off, which I was pretty upset about because that fight was really highly anticipated, man. And going to a live fight was definitely on my bucket list.
Yep.
And then a shout out to Clarissa Shields too. She made history, the first person to ever have a boxing main event there in Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal.
Witness history too, bro. That's what's up, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up, man. All right, well, cool, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you for calling in, KG, bro. Hey, man, tell the people how they can get at you. Let them know what we working on too, if you want to, real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That's KingKG_official. You can follow me on TikTok at Untalk Unpopular Opinion. Me and Kev, we working on a podcast right now.
Yes, sir.
You can follow it on Instagram under my name that I just mentioned. You can follow it on TikTok. Basically, it's called Untalk Unpopular Opinion, where I'm giving you words of wisdom, gems. I'm dropping knowledge on people that your favorite auntie and uncle will give you. It may be unpopular, you may not like it, but it's real, it's the truth, and it's all honest.
Yep, there it is. Yes, sir. Untalk. We're going to have that on the channel real soon, man, for some new programming. Appreciate you again, KG, calling in, broski. I'm going to get at you in a minute.
All right, bro. I'll get up with you.
All right, in a minute. Yep.
Yep.
Cool, man. Appreciate that, man. Let me know what you think as far as predictions and everything else. The only other fight I had to think about, Earl Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford, July 29th. I'm rolling with Bud. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. Let's switch it up and get up out of here. There we go. All right. Thinking out loud real quick. If you have one of those names that is spelled completely different, pronounced different, if you just have a completely different name, I think you need to give people grace. For an example, you have a name that most people ain't never seen, heard of before ever. Sunsareya or something like that. I'm only saying that because I recently saw that. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the name right. But I know some people get mad when you don't pronounce their name right. Even after you ask how you pronounce your name, oh, Sunsareya. How am I supposed to remember that? I don't hear that name all the time. So I'm supposed to, even if I say it back to you, I'm probably going to mispronounce it. Y'all need to give us grace. It's spelled different. It sounds different. We ain't gonna be, I ain't mad at I ain't gonna blame your parents. And I ain't gonna be mad at you. But you need to have grace for people because they gonna misspell your name and mispronounce your name every single time. Don't nobody know how to pronounce that goofy stuff. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Call off in the live chat and comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. We about to get up out of here, man. But first, need you to do me a favor. Kick it with KCMC on all social media at KIWKCMC. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that. KIWKCMC. That's Kick It with KCMC, just the abbreviations. Show some love to my sponsor too, man. Team Elite. They on all social media also at Team Elite 313. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at TEAMELITE 313. And check out their premium urban-based athleisure wear. That's athletic leisure wear, casual wear, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tech fleece, jogger sets, varsity sets, and more. It's all on their website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom, baby. Appreciate you for kicking it with KCMC. If you got this far in the video, do me a favor, hit that like button for me. I appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the alert so you know when we going live, because we might pop up on you at any time. If you got a couple dollars, donate to the show so we can grow. We're going to work on having a consistent schedule, all right? We're gonna be wrapping up season 9 very soon, going into season 10. Different environments, different segments, different shows, including adding the show with my man's KG. Thank you for calling in, KG. We appreciate you. Hey, man, like I said, tell a friend and tell a friend, subscribe and do all that, man. We up out of here. Appreciate you.